Good afternoon and welcome to this Facebook Live in which I'm going to give you more information on the webinar of next week. Saying no without guilt to say yes to what you really, really want to do. Do you want to know if this is for you? I'll tell you all about it today. So, why do people find it so difficult to say no? Well, partly because of the way we were raised, because things that have been told to us. So it's not polite to say no. You always have to be helpful to people. You have to be there for them, because if not, you're not a nice girl. So it's our limiting beliefs that keep us from saying no. I've been talking about these in previous episodes. It's also our drivers of be perfect, please people. Also, this has been discussed, but we will come back to this during the webinar next week. So that's one. What's keeping us from doing it are limiting beliefs and our drivers. Now, even though you find it hard to say no, I'm sure there are moments where you do say no. So everybody has their threshold of saying no. So some people are going to say no when the water is up to here. Other people are going to say no when it's here. Others only when it's here. But in the end, everybody will say no at one point or another. So let's say I find it hard to say no in general. And I find it even harder if the person in front of me is hierarchy. So the higher the person in front of me, the harder for me to say no. Okay, just imagine I find myself in front of this person. He or she asks me to do something. I'm about to say yes, even though I don't want to do it. But as I said, I find it very hard to say no. And exactly at that moment, somebody comes and tells me I have to go to hospital now because somebody from my family is there. Probably everybody at that moment in time is going to go to the hospital. So what does that mean? That saying no is not really a physical problem. Everybody can say it, but it's more like a mental issue. And I'm not saying that you're crazy, but it's more like you are weighing off the consequences of saying no and the consequences of not saying no. And sometimes you think, I'm not sure, maybe I shouldn't do it. So what is important? It is very important to know what you are saying yes to. And that's another topic we will be discussing. If you are very clear on what you say yes to, it's going to be easier to say no. So if I'm on a diet for my health, and if I don't do the diet well, I feel badly, probably my health is going to be a clear yes. And whenever somebody comes to me with some sweets and whatever, I find it easy to say no because I'm saying yes to my health. There is a clear, it's very clear that health at that moment is more important for me than the sweet or the cake. Maybe I'm working on something very important. I'm working on this something important, whatever, a priority that I have to do, and somebody comes with something small. Possibly I can say no, I really can't now because I really have to finish this because there is this deadline. After the deadline, possibly I can help again. But now I say no because I say yes to meeting the deadline. And so on and so forth. Another example I usually give is, suppose I'm very young, so use your imagination. I'm very young, I start working, and I'm very passionate about my job. And so I'm so passionate about my job, I'm ambitious, so I'm not so concerned with staying late, with working over lunch and everything. A couple of years later, I still love my job, but I also am the mum of a little child. And at 6, I have to pick up the child at the creche, daycare. If I don't make it, I'm in trouble. So because I say yes to being on time for daycare, it is easier to say no to a meeting after 5, because then I can't say yes to daycare. So we'll also be discussing, what do you say yes to? Let's bring it back also to assertiveness. So assertiveness is about win-win, okay. If you don't really know what I'm talking about, have a look at the previous episode. There I explain it all. So win-win, okay. That means that technically saying no is not 100% assertive, in a sense that it's not win-win, because the other person wants me to do something and I don't want to do it for one reason or another. So, what does that mean? It means that if I still want to be assertive, I have to pay attention to say no in a certain way. I have to say no in a way that shows that maybe I'm still interested in the other person's request, but I just say no to the specific request now. Maybe I can help him or her in another way. Also, my tone and nonverbal are going to be very important, because they could turn my whole message more aggressive. And that's not what we want. Because if I'm going to be aggressive, the other one could be aggressive as well. And it becomes like tuk, 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 quickly a conflict. So we're going to pay attention to that. We're also going to look at a specific technique of 5 steps that could help you in passing your message. On the one hand, it should help you to structure your message and to help you stick to your guns if this is really what you want to do, if this is really one of your cases where no is very important to you. Because I will also tell you that you have to pick your battles, again linked to the assertiveness. Okay, but suppose you have picked your battle, this is really a case of no. This technique of 5 steps can help you to stick to your guns. It's also going to help you to show empathy to the other person, so it becomes a little bit more win-win. And it's going to help you look for solutions. So all of these topics will be treated in the webinar next Thursday, the 13th of February at 8 p.m. Central European Time. You have to subscribe. I'll add a link to this video. If you want to be there, if you know somebody else who could find this useful, please share this. This is a once in a lifetime. I'm not going to do this again, but I'm offering this for my birthday. So, as I said, sign up. It's not your regular Facebook Live. If you sign up, you will afterwards receive the replay, which will be available for 36 hours. So even if you can't make it exactly at 8 o'clock next week on Tuesday, still sign up and you can watch it afterwards whenever it suits you. Okay? Have a great weekend and see you later. Bye-bye.